Hey, it's Greg Grunberg, Snap Wexley, and you are listening to Sixth Scale Scavengers.
Good evening, Scavengers. We are back for another one. This isn't even just a one-off at this point, guys. It was, I gotta say, Chris TC, it was pretty cool. Last time out, last week, I think it was about a week ago, we hopped back on the airwaves, and I have to say, all the support and all the messages and stuff that we got, it was pretty cool. To be away for close to 3 years. I think it was like 2.5, at least 2.5 years, maybe a little bit more. I think it was like
2 years, 7 months.
Yeah, something like it was like September 2023. I think was the last one we talked about it last time out. But
yeah, 7 months.
And Chris, to have a show where we really didn't say a whole lot. We just basically babbled for close to an hour about absolutely nothing.
There wasn't any breaking news or anything like that.
No, so
tonight, but
I happened to just be going back through like our channel earlier today while I was getting ready for the stream. So I actually talk about some news and stuff like we used to. Some of the OGs that, you know, a lot of the formats that people use today, we're the ones that started that way back when, in 2018, because we're old.
Yeah.
But just seeing some of our old content, just wow, we were a well-oiled machine at one point. Now we're just even more a bunch of hacks.
You can get into it. We can get into the groove.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. We had there was a really good stretch there. You look back in our catalog, man, we had some banger live streams, and I don't know, maybe we'll get back to those days, but we got some work ahead of us to do so.
Yeah, we'll chip away at this and see what happens. Got a motley crew going here already. Moderator Mike holding down the fort. We'll do that typical YouTube thing that we need to do. Hit that like button, subscribe if you hadn't already. We certainly appreciate it. And appreciate you, Mike, joining us live. Excited for another episode. Curious to see if anybody scooped that Qui-Gon figure. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Our good friend Robert hanging out. One of the OGs. And 1-6 Chris. Oh. Snap Wexley. That is a deep cut. Chris, that was... Didn't your wife get you like a cameo with Snap Wexley?
Yeah.
And she thought to say like, hey, my husband has like this podcast thing that he does, and he probably didn't even know anything of it. And he ended up recording like a bit of it, and through the power of technology, I'm pretty sure we spliced it up. And then even further from that, it became part of the official intro when Scott, aka Parker Files, was able to work his movie magic a little bit more, and it's just been part of the stream for a good chunk of how many times we've done. I don't know what episode we first put that in there, but it's pretty cool.
It was well, you guys got it for I think my birthday. Was it my birthday?
Yeah,
I got a Zach Brown one. The CEO of McLaren, and I got the Snap Wexley one. And I think because we used to have the other intro where it was the three of us with like our photos.
Yeah.
And then we got this one. So I love it. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It brings cool. Like a memory, you know, like every time you hear it. Yeah.
Get better with age. Indeed. Oh, Jesse's looking for the collection update. It's there. Yeah. It's going to be a multi-episode thing. I when I first put out the title for this probably sounds going to be a little bit more exciting than it probably is. I've got to probably stretch this out over some time here, so we'll see how things are going. But again, appreciate you guys all hanging out, whether you're watching this live or after the fact. So we'll dive into talking about some Sixth Scale hot toys, guys, because there's some things that have happened since May the 4th this week. A national holiday, excuse me, for a lot of us. May the 4th be with you, and also with you. So Hot Toys gave us some news and some looks at some figures. To be quite honest, probably very underwhelming for most, but still some things to talk about. And we are going to fire up the projector machine here, like we used to do, and take a look at a figure that we've already got blogger photos for. So full disclaimer here, Chris, and I wanted to talk because you are the resident Ahsoka expert, not only on this panel, but probably in the hobby just in general, with all of the prototype figures and stuff that you've got. You have probably one of the best Ahsoka collections, bar none. Very unique collector as well. So we've got this very polarizing figure on screen here, Chris, with a look at Ahsoka from her first appearance in the Clone Wars cartoon / movie, with the live actress's face, and I'm blanking on her name right now, Chris. Ariana Greenblatt. So her face kind of aged down for how Ahsoka first kind of looked here in the Clone Wars. But before we even talk about the polarizing part about this figure, we were just looking on Sideshow for any information on this figure, and I don't know if anybody else can check live while we're doing here. It appears to be completely scrubbed from the Sideshow website. It doesn't, you can't order it right now because you can't search for it. It's not even showing up under sold out. So we might talk about this figure for not here, because did they pull it off the website, or did it sell out? I think
I don't see it. I did a search and it won't show.
I know. I'm trying everything at our disposal to look for it on Sideshow. I mean, I'm sure it's and
it is it is a Sideshow exclusive. It's a limited run. I don't know where it went.
Poof, she disappeared.
So what was the issue with it,
Chris?
Well, so I mean, for me, I think like the figure looks well executed, but it's just a little bit weird seeing the live action actress on the animated body form. I know they've done this in the past. You were just showing the Anakin, other characters and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just people wanted the animated version. They wanted the animated look. Plus, I mean, you realize like this outfit is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit much or not that much for a like 13 or 14-year-old, which was about her age at the beginning of Clone Wars. So when you see it in this type of environment, this form, you realize like, oh man, that design is questionable. But I don't know. It's again well executed, but I don't know. She seems a little bit like maybe she's a little bit older in certain parts.
Let me stop you there, Chris. The thing that got me about this figure was kind of like the shoulder seams. Like it's clearly there. I think having the backpack, will kind of prevent that from maybe being partly unsightly. But I'm honestly surprised, and I know that. Oh, here we go. I was able to see it for a second, and it said sold. It was sold out. So I know this was like limited to about like 2,500 pieces or so, but
Yeah.
it doesn't even say like waitlist or anything at this point.
Yeah. I mean, just my buddy FJ, he not that long ago texted me. He's like, I ended up jumping on it because it said low stock, and then he sent me a screenshot and it said sold out on his screenshot. So he was able to get it. But yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, but they don't usually
Chris is digging a hole they can't get out of. That's typical.
Just watch Collecting Weekly from this week, and you can see Zach and Dean talking about their view on this figure. They go a lot deeper than I do.
Oh yeah, we love those guys. Those sweet angels. Haven't said that in about 3 years, but
I know.
Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of Ahsoka as you are, Chris, but she's still like one of my favorite Star Wars characters. To be honest, I will talk about it later while I'm looking at what figures and stuff to to add or / re-add back to the collection. Like if you were to ask me, would I take this one or the Padawan one that we got that we have seen on screen with the Ahsoka show, from that flashback in the World Between Worlds, I would probably pick that one, and it's also readily available too, pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the same price?
I think this one was like, I want to say it was $270, which I can't confirm.
Wow.
And I think the other one is slightly a little less.
$255, I think, something like that. $260.
Yeah. So for me, the biggest reason why I ultimately, which now sounds like I don't even have a chance to add this, even if I had wanted to, the expression on her face is just very stoic, and it doesn't lend itself to like action poses. Like a lot of these blogger photos and stuff that I feel like we haven't looked at in years, because literally we haven't. But to me, like this just looks weird.
Yeah.
Holding Stinky
Rada, yeah.
Rada the Hutt. The action poses just look weird, and then from there you really are. You're just in a kind of museum pose or something. Like a photo, like a pose like this probably works okay.
Yeah.
It's
just like, I mean, because she has no expression, and it looks so bland. I wish they had like a different faceplate or something that you could swap out. That would just make a huge difference for this figure. It would give you options, but this boring, just blank stare.
I don't even know if it has movable eyes, to be honest. I can't remember. Well, maybe I think it does, because this looks like it's to the side. I don't know. It's a shame. It is. It's a shame, but it sounds like it might be off the table entirely at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like Mike.
Okay, let me phrase it to you this way, my friend. Would you have added it if you had the opportunity to? Yeah.
No.
So there's your answer. So if one of the biggest Ahsoka collectors that I know, that most of you know, is going to pass on Ahsoka, then that tells me everything.
Gotta pick and choose. Like, the only Ahsoka I have right now is the Ahsoka the White figure. I got rid of all the other ones.
Oh, you even got rid of the Clone Wars one?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yep, I got rid of that one. So I think, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I decided I didn't need need that many of them. We'll see what happens.
Got
I mean,
the,
I mean, you can get it anytime.
yeah,
I know.
Clone Wars one. That was unfortunate. Like how overproduced it was.
like that's the thing too, is like we haven't really been able to talk about it because we were away, but like I feel like that's almost going to end up being like the Star Wars junk wax era, like to use like a card reference. I feel like Infinity War on the Marvel side, that's really where they Infinity War into Endgame was where they really overproduced things, and I feel like, you know, the Mando / like Clone Wars section, right where we were like winding down, it really led into that, and that's why you're right, TC. It's readily available. It's less than retail on both Sideshow and others like Underground Figures. So if you wanted to pick up that Clone Wars one, you could. Shout out to the Jedi Knights Watch in the house. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're stumbling through being back. It's a little bit weirder than I thought it would end up being, but it also it's also pretty cool. And speaking of Scott from the Parker Files, give him a second shout out already on the pod. All right.
Yeah.
Glad
I was just gonna.
back.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, like earlier, Mike was saying, could it be from a flashback from the movie coming out? I don't think it's gonna be from the movie, but I wouldn't rule it out for Ahsoka season 2. There are rumors out there for several different flashbacks, like different eras of flashbacks. I don't know for certain, but I mean, we could see one going back that far to the beginning of the Clone Wars in live action form, like when Anakin got gifted. He was gifted Ahsoka as his Padawan. But yeah, it would be interesting. And Rada is in the movie as a full adult, and he's in the trailer there, all ripped with his 20 pack there going against Mando. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the connection is there for the movies and shows.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about a fantastic figure.
Wow. Looks incredible.
Yeah, so TCL, I'll throw this one to you first. We've got a 2.0 Qui-Gon Jinn from The Phantom Menace. Not a lot of people's favorite Star Wars movie, but I still am always so nostalgic about that. I saw that movie in the theaters 4 times. I still have my movie tickets somewhere. I kept them all, and I don't care. I love it. It's a guilty pleasure.
Not my favorite movie, but I'll admit the characters make excellent figures. So yeah, but I was looking at the old Qui-Gon figure because I was like, oh, this one looks really good, and I don't remember the original being bad. But I went and looked, and I don't know, it's looking pretty suspect compared to this guy. Little bit of a baby face for Qui-Gon is not bad, but this is incredible. But also, you know, I know they had the artisan one, and
yeah, we'll look at that. We'll look at that one first. I just kind of wanted to get a look at the sculpted hair.
Their sculpted hair that's like Hot Toys' best thing they do now, to me. I mean, it looks great. It's like if you compare them to InArt on sculpted hair, it's not even close. Hot Toys is just incredible. I mean, it's long hair. It's pretty difficult to sculpt to make it look good, and they've done it. So I didn't order it, but if I was going to order one, I'd order obviously the sculpted because I didn't go for the artisan, but I'd go for the sculpted anyway. Save the money. Yeah. But that's just my preference. But I think this is awesome.
Yeah, Chris, TC's being kind to the old Qui-Gon. It was one of those ones too where I want to say, oh gosh, when did that one come out? Was it 2019? I don't have the. I don't remember exactly, but
I feel like
I
earlier.
it might even be a little older. I just remember that one being completely different from the prototype, and then like the blogger photos. Like TC's right. It was just very soft. The paint wasn't great. It looked very rounded off. I remember having that figure in my collection, and I just never really liked it all that much. I did to the surprise of nobody, I sold it at some point. I probably parted it out too for just doing stupid stuff like I do. Like, to me, this just looks incredible. It looks spot on. And TC's right, as he always is usually. The sculpted hair, I don't know. We'll do the comparison side by side in a second here, but
it's the hairline. Like, like when you slick back your hair, it's like totally flat against your scalp. They can't quite get it on the Artisan, to me. Like, it's the hairline's not soft enough.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
like that is money.
They've definitely, I mean, I know this is like prototype, but that mustache in the past, they just could not get the mustache. And this, they really, I mean, they nailed it.
Well, not even that, Chris, but like, I don't know. We'll do the. I'll hop over to the Artisan photos here in a second. But even with the Artisan one, where they've got like the mustache into the beard, even on the Artisan one, it's still the same sculpt. It just has the wool rooted hair in place of what's here for sculpted. It's so, like, to me, it looks a little odd to have, like, his beard that's sculpted, but then the rest of the hair that's not.
Well, you got to think too, like, it's actually pretty hard. So, like, if you look at what Hot Toys did with the Joker, the first one they did, which I thought was pretty good, really good for the first Artisan, they can sculpt the front of the hairline with, like, I can actually sculpt it, and then they can like glue it, I guess, right at the seam, but you can hide it. Like with this one, you can't really do that because it's so flat. So I think they struggled a little, but they're both great. I mean, it's not like Artisan's obviously amazing. It's just, I don't know, I'm nitpicking, just my personal view.
Yeah, this is like a slam dunk for me. In general, I won't bear the lead here. I actually went with it was a Dopo, Return of the Dopo. I actually didn't have a choice, because by the time I got to it, the Artisan was already on waitlist. But I went in with the intention of getting the sculpted, even if I had the chance to get the Artisan with this figure in particular. Let me just switch the old flux capacitor here, and let's take a look at the Artisan. Yeah, I mean,
it looks that realism though.
It does. It looks good. It's just, I worry, is it gonna get, like, not fray, but like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, like, you're right, that hairline, it's not as tight as it is on the sculpted, especially, like, you can see here in my cursor, like, especially like right there. And then I wonder if, like, as you're saying, TC, like, once you get out of the box and if you futz with it at all, like, is it really going to be, can you get it back to how it came out of the box?
I do not know, but I mean, it's the same thing with, like, even like when InArt made Legolas, like, you can tell, because he also has the slicked back hair, like, you can tell where the hair meets the sculpt, and it's not like flush, like as you see, like in the film. So I don't know, but I mean, in terms of just pure realism, I think this one's obviously has it, because you can move the sculpt around, you can compose it. With the sculpted version, you can't really do that as much. Like, if you want him looking off to the side, you can easily, you can put him in more action poses with his head not facing straight forward. So that's huge positive.
This is so good though, Chris. Like, can you imagine if we had paint apps like this, like, back in our heyday here?
I mean, that's one of the things that Hot Toys is just gotten so good at over the last 5, 6, 7 years, is the paint apps. I mean, it's like night and day from, the the 1.0. I just yeah, I think the sculpted, I really like the sculpted, but like you were saying, TC, some of the poses, you've got the hair like looks super awkward because it's just like floating
Yeah.
out into nothing.
Yeah, and like this one's amazing. Like when
Yeah.
he's crouched over,
Yeah.
and he's looking to the side, like the hair, it's natural. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, congrats to everyone who got this. It's pretty epic. So what is that? That's pretty much all the prequel line is getting complete. Revenge of the Sith, you got Yoda,
Well,
Anakin, Vader, Obi, and then you got the first figures. You don't have Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace.
Yeah, so that's the big miss. That's what I want, and I know a lot of people want is an episode 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he's probably in like at least top 2, probably top 3 all-time Star Wars figures, regardless of whatever era it is. Even in like the animated stuff in Rebels, he was fantastic. Steven Stanton was the voice actor for that. Yeah, like, so I think they would need an Anakin Attack of the Clones.
they got Jar Jar. They made Jar Jar.
I thought you were just talking
No,
like
they have
getting
Anakin.
artisan treatment.
Yeah. Artisan. Yeah.
I just meant in general.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe this is just kind of one other jumping off point here too, because like again, I'm sure others have talked about this for the last couple of years, and we haven't really broached the topic. But I don't really doesn't bother me because I am basically starting with 5 Star Wars figures right now and trying to build up from there. I don't mind them going through and doing a redo on some of these because I don't have the original, so I can just get the best version. But
Yep.
I have to think as a longer term collector, it immediately devalues the old one, and to the point where you almost feel like you have to upgrade if you had the old one, or do you just pass and say, "Oh, well, I've already got the figure and I'm content with that"? To use the term Chris that you usually used to use all the time was like the representation of the character, like in your collection is it good enough at that point?
Yeah, I always like the new ones because it's not just a sculpt; it's the bodies too. So like every time it seems like Hot Toys upgrades the figure, they also upgrade it with a newer body. It's got the ratcheted knees. I can't remember if Qui-Gon had ratcheted knees or anything like that, but I'm sure the new one probably does. If not, it's still a newer body.
Yeah, like that pose right there is so cool. Yeah, I mean it's something that we have to consider as collectors. All the different reasonings and stuff why we need these things. What do we want to keep? Do we want the best of the best? Do we want the latest and greatest? Like you're saying, representation versus the newest thing. I mean, there's no wrong answer, but a lot of the time, if I had the 1.0 now and this came out, I would just sell the first one and just get what I can and put it towards this one. I wouldn't worry about losing the money and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I think most people are over that. Although I will say, if you do that and then you have the best one, there's the chance that this one actually is the best one in the future too, because it may not make it again.
Yeah.
So you're at least giving yourself a shot at having the in-demand Qui-Gon 4 or 5 years down the line, if that matters to you.
Yeah, they'll make a ghost Qui-Gon from the Kenobi series or something, like a hologram version or something.
Like when they was that in the Return of the Jedi, Qui-Gon's it's Ghost Anakin, right?
Yeah, it's Anakin. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
they'll do what Hasbro does and just they have the sculpt and they just make it clear. I mean, Hot Toys does that with Iron Man's.
They did it with they made a hologram Darth Maul, I think, not that long ago while we were away. It's just like a hunk of plastic.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I didn't even give that a second look when it came out.
Yeah, no. But anyways, in summary, I don't think you could go wrong with either. I think at this point, if you're still on the fence, you really don't have a choice other than to hop on the wait list. And again, with all the artists and stuff, you have to get it directly from, Sideshow or, a retailer overseas, which I would imagine at this point is probably pretty difficult to do. Again, stuff that we haven't talked about in years. I'm learning so fast. My hyper focus has kicked in quite a bit lately, if you guys haven't picked up on it. I feel like I'm just like drinking from a fire hose, trying to reacclimate myself to everything that I've missed. I'm just like
I know there's like, I'm scrolling through Sideshow and there are so many figures that I'm like, didn't even realize that those were they were released, and I'm like, oh man, this is bad news. This is bad news.
of all the figures you mentioned while you were gone, you bring up Hologram Mall. That's the deep cut.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so I did pre-order the sculpted one, so, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah, I jumped on the wait list for the artisan.
Nice.
And I think the sculpted one will be available for a while.
Yeah.
Although it does seem like even on the pre-order side of things, like it does go low stock at some point, even before they release things officially.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Sideshow, I think, learned from the junk wax era.
I'm glad that stuck. The junk Hot Toys era.
Yeah. That, I mean,
was the Star Wars figures the Phantom of the Force for what is it? The line that's like really still cheap from like late 90s.
Oh yeah, the Power of the Force.
Power of the Force.
Oh god, Power of the Force 2, or like from 95 to, to Episode 1 figures. It's like I got a bin of them in this collection that I just picked up, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't even get rid of these things. But
the Power of the Force or the Phantom Menace figures?
Both.
Oh, I would still geek out over. I still remember. Well, gosh, I would have been in high school when that happened, but I just remember like being completely amazed by all of like the figures and the vehicles and everything that got released. And of course, I bought like none of them, but I just always thought they were really cool. And now they're still readily available for pretty close to what they cost in 1999.
Parallels to the Infinity War figure line.
Oh my god, I mean, it's cool because like people that get nostalgia for that stuff, they can get stuff for super cheap, and they're not buying Hot Toys for $250 or buying figures for
just you wait, Chris.
$5.
50th year anniversary of the Phantom Menace. People are going to go crazy for all that stuff.
Oh my gosh, it's so long ago. So long from now.
If you have room in the Letty warehouse, hold on to all that stuff.
Stash.
I'm sure your wife will love that.
Play.
Yeah.
Generational wealth is what that will generate for you. All right. That's the figure talk. I wanted to talk a little bit about my plan. Probably oversold it a little bit of what I actually want to talk about in the episode title here, but so for the last couple weeks, even before we actually decided to record, I've been kind of trying to reevaluate and come up with a game plan for how I'd like to rebuild my collection. And I can't remember if I talked about it last time or not, but what I'm trying to do and in the process of is moving some of my Formula One sports cards that I had an overabundance of into Hot Toys. So again, practicing what we preached in the past, use your collection to kind of fund your collection. And I told you guys the other night, like I sold a lot of cards for a lot of money, and it definitely put that slush fund into the very, make it rain.
Well, this time you're actually like, you're selling your collection to fund, but you're selling into the positive, selling into strength. rather than parting out or like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be clear, and I'll probably eat these words, but I don't want to like. I'm like pretty much done selling stuff on the sports card side of things. It's always, well, it's no different than collecting figures or whatever you collect, whatever you love to collect. There's always another one or a better one or a lower rarity or something like that, and it's just it's hard to keep up with, and it's also kind of disheartening on the other hand, because to acquire a lot of that stuff, you either have to like be at the right place at the right time, know somebody, or way overpay for opening boxes or cases of cards, and it's to use the term that we use between the three of us often. Usually, if you open sports card wax, it's the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. So it's one of those TC's right. It's one of those rare times. Yeah, cue the Green Day, which we don't want to get hit with a copyright from YouTube here. But yeah, so to sell into a strength, and I happen to have a lot of cards of a Formula One driver, a very young driver that had a lot of rookie cards, who happens to be leading the championship right now. So right time, right place, rare time where I'll have some wins. But so I would say over the next couple episodes, I'm probably going to have quite a bit, just because there's so many good deals out there right now with Hot Toys. There's like probably never a better time to like hop in and like want to be back, because there's a lot of stuff available at retail. There's a lot of stuff that's maybe lightly used that's available under retail, and there's a lot of figures, especially in Star Wars, to to kind of work with. So that is where I'm going. Is I think, guys, I've settled on, instead of trying to collect all these different lines of stuff, like my heart's always it's with Star Wars. I love other stuff a lot, like Lord of the Rings, probably the greatest trilogy, 3 movies together that you could possibly have. But if you want those, TC, that's up your alley, and we'll talk about that as more of the stuff comes out. But with in art and those figures, and they've been slowly trickling out those figures over the last couple of years, and to backtrack on something like a Gandalf is just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you want to spend $1,200? It's basically what it costs.
It's like it's like what, 4 or 5x
at least. Yeah, well, it retailed for, I think it was like mid-4s.
Was it mid-4s? So it's at least 3 or 4x.
I mean, by the time you eat shipping and tax and everything, it's going to cost you into the 5s. But yeah, I mean, it's at least 2.5x. So, and they're going to eventually make a gain off the white. So I wouldn't backtrack. Just my personal opinion, but I mean, there's a lot out there. Just like you said, Lord of the Rings, better DC. Marvel's always around.
Yep.
But
Star Wars. That's what I'm doing, guys.
Star Wars.
Planting my flag here. So
Yep.
I didn't get rid of all my stuff. So I rearranged the shelf behind me.
Mando.
Still right.
If anyone needs a Mando, it's still in stock at Sideshow. It's only been 7 years or 6 years.
So looking on screen here are the last 5 Star Wars figures that I held on to. So as Roy affectionately calls him, Pigeon Poop, Boba Fett. That's the one thing too, is like we came out of retirement and we hadn't heard from our friend Roy in probably a year and a half or more. He just went social media dark, and he messaged us and he goes, I had a feed of one of your videos showed up on my feed, and I thought it was like from several years ago, and I didn't realize that you guys recorded a new episode. He goes, I actually had to log on to Facebook for the first time in a long time. So welcome back, Roy.
Roy.
Yeah. So the figures I kept, and that's going to be where I'm starting from, is the Gosh, what was the Mando? And he wasn't even called Grogu at this point. It was Mando and the Child deluxe set with the pram, and I had a custom acrylic stand I bought for that, and the Boba Fett or reclaimed armor, and then of course central to the shelf right now is the original Shore Trooper number MMS 379, the figure that launched the podcast and got everybody talking about Hot Toys originally. And then the squad leader, and then the Shore Trooper Grunt from Rogue One, and then the Andor was the other one that was in, right? I'm pretty sure that's where they squeezed that one out of.
No, it was Mando.
Mando.
Was it Mando?
Season 2.
The grunt was in Mando. The other two were in Rogue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was on that planet with
Speaking,
yeah,
it was with the comedian.
me
Bill Burr.
Miggs, what, Mayfield, yeah. Gosh.
Speaking of Shore Troopers,
Oh,
I want
boy.
that Snow Stormtrooper.
I should have brought the
Stormtrooper.
photos up for that, TC.
Oh my God,
I actually
thing's
thought about
amazing.
it, and then I didn't get a chance to connect with you.
That is an
today.
incredible trooper.
It's
I gotta
like
stay away, but that's nice.
it's like the Shore Trooper and a Snow Trooper had a love child.
It is. It totally is.
If it was the Shore Trooper tan, I would have gone for it, but
Mhm. Yeah, it's
I
got
don't
the helmet. Same
but anyways,
helmet.
so that's where I'm starting from. And if you're in your
This is your
yeah, this is my new shelf. If you're in our Facebook group, Sixth Scale Scavengers, collectors, or whatever we're called, you already saw this. Last Friday, my son and I took like about an hour plus trip from New Hampshire down to Massachusetts to a store called Toy Vault, and they have multiple locations in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. We happened to go to the one just outside of Worcester. And we go in there, and I knew they'd have some Hot Toys, and they have all the boxes lined up there. It's so tempting. It's so cool. I don't know. We talked about this a long time ago. It's still cool to see these in the wild, because you can't just TC, you can't go into like Walmart and see Hot Toys on the shelf. Like you got to go to like a comic shop or something like this to see them. But some of the figures here are not available on like Sideshow, or they're waitlisted, or you can't really find them anywhere else. So I stared at this wall for a good like 30 minutes or so. And then I finally asked the nice girl that was working the counter to see if I could take a look, because all the prices were on the box on the inside. So she brought a few of them down, and I ended up with a Darth Maul 2.0 on the Sith Speeder. I had been looking for this figure, but I didn't intend to get it with the Sith Speeder. But the price that it was going for was not market price, which I was completely shocked at, Chris, because you and I've talked about this. Like they jack up the prices a lot at the store, and this was like $100 under what eBay has been regularly doing for this. Like I would have paid what I paid for the Sith Speeder one for just the regular version. So scavenger deal on that one.
Yeah.
And probably a little bit over what retail was going for the Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian season 2. I think it was maybe $20 or $30 over retail, but not available anywhere else. I think it's waitlisted on Sideshow. So got to get a Luke Skywalker in the collection. Got to get a Darth Maul in the collection. And then I added a Captain Rex from the Ahsoka show. So
nice.
there's a little bit of little differences between this one and the Clone Wars version, but everything that I had read up said this was probably the superior figure.
Yeah, I like that one.
Like it's not as like weathered with like a green tint or anything. So definitely had to get a Captain Rex back in the collection, but that's what I've added. So I think I'm going Star Wars, guys. That's what I'm doing. But I think I'll just do the collection updates as stuff comes in between episodes instead of saying like all the crazy stuff that I've cut. Because if I don't have it in hand yet, I don't really have it. There's a lot.
Yeah. No, it's a good strategy. Star Wars strategy. It's classic. That's where you started. So I dig it.
Yeah.
So pre-order wise, I guess like I'm holding off on a lot of the stuff that's currently available just because like there's some stuff that's going to you can pre-order and it's going to release relatively soon. I don't think there's a lot of risk of any of that stuff like selling out too soon. So rather than tying up funds with like pre-order NRDs, thank you. I was like having a senior moment there for a moment instead of tying up current money with those. Trying to track down the figures. I will say, I'll talk about them when they come in. I'd say in addition to these three that I just talked about, I think there's only three other ones that I like backtracked for, and they're not even relatively that old, but I just don't see them probably being redone just because they were just recently released within the last couple of years, and kind of it'll make sense when they come in. But gosh, like I know it's a little bit of hyper focus here, Chris, but like I'm geeking out big time about this. Like it's been fun. It's been fun to like dig, and part of the fun is like thrill of the hunt too.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that there's a spot that you can go to check out these figures with the Toy Vault. I mean, we have other places closer to you in Keene, New Hampshire, Enterprise Comics.
I forgot about them.
They're a sideshow dealer. So the last time I went in there was before Christmas, and they still had their display with a bunch of
hold on, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go check it out.
All right.
the van meme.
Yeah.
Peeling
just
out.
Doing a front wheel burnout. Yeah, so we've got that, and then there's a few other stores down in Boston and in and around our area, but like they've got Hot Toys at Disney World, like, so they're going to be like 150% markup, but still.
It's about the experience, Chris.
Exactly. You can say that's where I got that figure and vastly overpaid for it. But yeah, no, I get it. Just like perusing this stuff, I'm like already thinking, I'm like, oh man, I could get the Stormtrooper. I need a Vader. I could get Stormtrooper Deluxe and a regular Stormtrooper, and have a display. So you start justifying.
It doesn't end. Yeah, doesn't end. You gotta, if you're gonna do Star Wars, you gotta. I don't know how you do Star Wars. You just gotta stay in your lane, I guess.
Because I think even with that, Chris, too, is like the certain areas of it. Because I mean, you've got prequels, original trilogy, sequel trilogy. I almost kind of want to stay away from sequel trilogy. I know I kind of just like fear of missing out with FOMO, and originally like the Luke Skywalker hobo Luke I talked about last time with getting that artisan pre-order. But like even then, like now seeing like what else might be available, the Poe Dameron figure looks pretty cool, but I think in the long run, like that's gonna be out there on like Octu, like just way out there with a lot of like not a lot of other stuff that would probably go with it. But it's hard too, because like speaking of Disney World and like the ride Rise of the Resistance, like Poe's a big part of that ride, and it's so cool. Like I don't know, we'll see. But Robert's saying I didn't give much of an update. All right, I'll throw you a little bone here, Robert. I talked about it last time out, and if anybody is not using actionfigure411.com. You can they have like great
Not
checklists and stuff
sponsored.
out there. Not sponsored, but if they did want to reach out to us, I might listen. We've got a budget of $0 and 0 cents at this point. But you can use the checklist and you can kind of add a collection there. So of ones that I have paid for and bought but not have arrived yet, I would be at 18 Star Wars figures. So do the math. I just showed 3. I have 5. So there's another 10 on the way.
All right. There's the Fontaine that we've been missing.
18 in a week. 2.5 a day. 3 a day.
When you say it that way,
that's not that much. Man. Three a day. 1 every 8 hours. Numbers. It's not even a figure every 2 hours.
See, now it sounds absurd, but the funny, okay, just for reference, yeah, I don't say. I got to justify myself here. So when you talk about a box of Topps Chrome football cards,
oh yeah,
and you go to a local shop and they're running you $1,200 for a box of cards, and you might get like $100 worth of cards back.
Well, I mean, also go back.
That's like true. That's like 4 or 5 figures right there.
I mean, you were making like 4, 5, 6x on some of your sales. Or
yeah,
maybe more. So, I don't know. I mean, it's like it was the explosion in young Kimmy Antonelli. His market has been outrageous.
So yeah. So for reference, and just so it doesn't sound as absurd, like completely out of like from a slush fund of stuff that it was just sitting in. Just got graded and would have been sitting around in a box somewhere. Over $6,000 worth of cards I just sold that I'll have available and fun money to play with. So I don't condone, I would not recommend this to anybody else just to do this out of the blue. And I certainly am going to be budgeting going forward, but to have the opportunity to work backwards slightly, to see what's available and what's coming out for pre-orders and just getting a really good place like going forward to be in a good place to budget for this, to have fun, and then to keep within the means going forward, and making sure that you don't and God, we've talked about this a lot over the years, is like you don't overextend yourself, or you certainly don't want to go into debt with collecting, because then that's not fun at all. That's just turns into pure stress.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Don't want to do that again.
What's your Vader? Because you got to get a Vader, right?
I did. I went for the one from
episode 3,
the Kenobi series. That seemed to be one of the best ones, and it did come with like the battle damaged helmet, so you can see the Anakin face, which I'm a huge Anakin fan too. So that to me was like one of the good ones. But
I know that's my dilemma for Vader, is like I really like that one, but then like Return of the Jedi is like that's my jam, and it's like, do I want the?
But to be honest though, like I know there's a lot of like Vader aficionados out there that can tell the difference between the different armor
spot.
Yeah, like to me, like even as like a super fan, like he looks there's not enough
the silhouettes there.
Yeah, like exactly. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm having fun. That's the most important thing. So I don't mind being the comedic relief. The gladiator meme, are you not entertained? We'll have content for at least the next couple episodes at the very least.
Yeah.
Robert's saying he got milk coming out of his nose. So
I know. Yeah, it was like it was quite the number there. Yeah, I'm hoping I got a toy show this weekend up in Maine. Draw the line. Talking about Maine. So if I'm profitable, I'm earmarking some of those profits to order.
Look who it is.
Oh man, Mr.
D-Lo the Collector. Speaking of the Jedi Knights Watch earlier. Welcome back, Danny. We'll have to I feel like now that we're back, we'll have to like look at like guests and stuff and
Some collabs.
Certainly can make that happen. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with doing this and just kind of not trying to. I don't know. It's just fun talking with you guys too. I mean, we talk through messages throughout the day, but there's nothing, not the same with talking to you guys live over video. You stop by often, Chris, but
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
offense.
I'm hoping.
I like to get to see TC too.
I know. It'll be like once every 4 years. You know? Was it TC? When did you come and visit? It was like
Oh,
it was
22.
like
22.
yeah. So
It's going on 4.
3.5 years ago. So
My son still talks about that, especially all like the Pokemon cards you gave him. So
Nice.
I know my girls
it was-
always remember getting bagels with you in the morning for breakfast.
you're a memorable guy, TC.
Nice.
That
No,
says
it
a
was
lot
fun.
that both of our sets of kids remember you fondly, as opposed to thinking you're a jerk or something. So
You're like
It was-
stealing their stuff.
Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, but it's harder now because I'm not just with me and Ann.
Yep.
It's when you have a little guy, it's just harder to do that. But hopefully one day.
Yep. It'll be fun. Yeah, it's I know it's fun chatting. I love talking about this stuff. We're into all these different collectibles, and Hot Toys is at the forefront, or Sixth Scale, I should say. With some of our focuses and stuff. But yeah, I kind of like this having taken this break, and we can kind of go back and talk about some of these figures that we missed, and revisiting the Hot Toys catalog to see what
it's fun just going, like, obviously seeing Danny in the chat do
I
that.
know.
Seeing like how a
Things
lot
have
of the guys
changed.
like just seeing all the growth that people have had with like their own channels, and seeing like the really good video content and stuff people do. It's really cool, especially like the collection tours, or I know D'Lo had like this video I was watching recently where he used like Chat GPT to like help with his Star Wars display. He ended up putting, spoiler alert, go check it out, but like he ended up putting like the speeder bike from one of your favorite movies, Chris, Return of the Jedi, and having like Luke and Leia on that in the middle of his collection, and then like building around that. I was just like, wow, I never in a million years would have thought like, hey, Chat GPT, like help me with my display. I might try that out. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
No, there's a lot of tools out there to help us as collectors, and
Us old guys,
I know.
we need all the tips we can get.
I had to get a new camera this week, and my old one is like 15 years old, and I got it for free.
You
Like,
are looking a little bit more sharp, as we will say up around here now.
Yeah, it was time. It was time to upgrade.
You were looking a little pixelated last time out.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't that much, but collecting funds. Sometimes you gotta use them to upgrade your equipment. And someday I'll upgrade this computer. It's still running on Windows 7, so
I'm surprised we
on?
haven't heard like the smoke coming out of it at this point.
And it was free too. So
typical
Hey, man, we're
scavenger.
scavengers.
Yeah, we are
Scavengers,
scavengers.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, man, I mean, you took all the thunder out of collection updates, so not.
We can get to you guys another time. You don't have to.
I don't have.
It's
no,
definitely
I
not
don't-
a competition. It's not meant to be a competition, and by any means. So
No, I don't have any 1/6 stuff. But yeah, I'm always hunting for like vintage stuff, and I got a few collections in the works. I've got one collection that's gonna have some Star Wars Hot Toys in it. So in a couple weeks, I'll have some Hot Toys inventory. I'll have to share that, and yeah, so
And I'm not collecting pre-orders, but I'm collecting pre-orders because Because I don't have that many Hot Toys anymore. I sold most of them off. I have some in art, but yeah, I mean the stuff that I have on order, got Batfleck from in art.
Nice.
You know that figure, the first one from Hot Toys from BVS came out in like 2016, and I love that figure. Obviously, it's dated now, but it's one of those figures like when you first start kind of collecting, and you're like, "Oh, this is incredible!" Like it sticks with you. So even though it's dated now, it's just always one that I've wanted to re-add. But obviously, you know, now that they're making one that's like 2026, 2026ized, then I went for that one. So Batfleck in art, Dumbledore, and the Corn Sweat Superman, and then Gimli from in art, and the Kojin Joker. So that's all I have on order.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's like 5 G's of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably more impressive than what I just rattled off.
I'm exaggerating.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and the suckers are, you know, the Kojin Joker doesn't come out. It's like 2028.
Oof.
So I mean, yeah. So I just
Elijah's going to be going to high school by the time.
I know. Yeah. Every time that a new figure's announced, it's to get it, you got to fast forward 2 years of life. Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of funny though, guys? Like I mean, obviously The Dark Knight is an iconic movie, but can you think of like one license where one character has been done so many different times?
No, but that's that's another one of those figures. Like if you were around in 2015 collecting, like that was the figure to have, the DX11, the Joker. Everyone wanted it for years, and then eventually it became outdated, but it still commanded a pretty good price until InArt came around. But there's just some, obviously the character is amazing, but there's just something for me about Jokers that I always want one whenever they announce a new one. Yeah, I don't know.
That's like me and Harley's.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like the Joker's like, it's always like they're trying to perfect it. Like every single time, there's always a slight tweak. It's like this impossible chase for perfection. Every time they get a little closer.
I know, and each company's trying to offer something a little bit different, you know, to make it that much more, you know, like, oh, you got to get this one because we've done this, use this technique or this, you know, whatever technology. But yeah, I mean, they all look, you know, they just keep looking better and better, and all the power to you.
Yeah, and in one little tiny secret, I do have the J&D one on order, the 1/3, but I'm splitting it with a friend.
Okay.
And I'm splitting it with someone. So I'm getting the purple, and he's taking the bank robber.
Sometimes that's what you got to do to make the deal happen.
TC's being all coy about what he's got planned, and this it's pretty massive.
He's got more on pre-order than I do.
Slacker.
Yeah, I know, right? I have a ton of figures I'm waitlisted on a ton of figures, but I see all these people getting their waitlist conversions, and I literally get none. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, come on.
Well, what you don't know is we don't know how long they've been on the waitlist either. So
true. Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a few like really cool ones on there, but yeah, like I would say I was fairly, because you can get to go to Clone Wars and Bad Batch, like Hunter and Echo are available everywhere, and Sideshow's trying to give them away at either like 25 or 30% off. But to get Crosshair, Wrecker, and Tech or Tick, you can't. They weren't as produced as much as the other three, and it just kind of it makes it hard to, even if I was to say I'd love to have all 5, you can get 2 of them at a reasonably priced, but like you might be in like the 2x range for or maybe even a little bit more for some of those, because they weren't as, it doesn't seem like they were as produced as the others. So it's like, is it really, do I really need to have the Bad Batch in my case? I'm like, I don't think so.
And for me, like I don't think the team is complete without Omega. So, and they would never make that figure.
No.
So it's kind of too bad, because like, you know, I'd want the whole crew there. They would. I mean, they look really good all set up, but and Bad Batch overall, I like the series, but there was a lot of hit or miss storylines and stuff like that. But I really like the finale. I mean, if I wanted those, I mean, they haven't even made Omega in 3 3/4 inch. They made her in 2 different versions in Black Series, but it's like you can't even complete the set in 3 3/4 inch, which used to be the Star Wars bread and butter.
Yeah, like the go-to.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow, guys, we rambled for like over an hour here.
Hey, it's what we do best. It's our
shout out to everybody sticking around, especially moderator Mike, doing his thing. Wow, just like, I don't know. I didn't think originally we were like, oh, we'll do like a one-time reunion show just to say how we're doing and what we've been up to, and then just kind of disappear for a long time again. But like, kind of glad we gonna give this an official go here.
Yeah, we got plenty to talk about. You know, backtracking on different figures, different lines, different companies, and then what to do going forward, directions we want to go in, and yeah, all kinds of stuff.
We're 2.0'd.
We have been, well, this is probably like 3.0, but because I think we had another break at some point where I think I actually happened to click through that episode. There was a time period where we went away for like 5 months, which at that time seemed like forever. And then this one was like 2.5 years. The fact that a lot of people didn't unsubscribe is just a miracle to me. So
yeah, I mean, now, but the thing is, now it's like I really enjoy chatting with everyone. It's just now I don't collect like just figures anymore.
Yeah, but so you don't have to. Like, that's
yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I mean, you picked up some
comments on them, and like you picked,
I mean,
that's the thing though, TC, is like, even if you aren't collecting them, you still have a lot of experience and knowledge, and you can talk about the stuff and make the fact that you remembered like what the DX number was for the Joker right off the top of your head. You're qualified to talk about this.
11, DX12, I think is a Nicholson Joker, or is it? No, it's a Batman. I think it's the Dark Knight.
DX09, was that the one?
DX09, yeah. Dark Knight was 12. Dark Knight's 19. Yeah.
Love it.
DX07.
Yeah,
Luke.
I thought, man, I'm always torn. Like, I would love a Keaton Batman, but I don't know. That's one that I would get, but I still like the aesthetic of the Batfleck. For the longest time, I wanted the Suicide Squad one, but it just didn't hold up very well. So, yeah, so many choices, so many.
All right, guys, I think we got to pull the plug on this one before we just keep going down this rabbit hole today. All right, so I think we might have a little bit of a break. I don't know if we'll be back next week, but I think definitely we'll try to shoot for the week after. Try to get some semblance of a semi-regular cadence, but just good to be back. Certainly appreciate everybody tuning in live, and for all the comments and stuff. We've been reading and trying to respond to all of them, so thank you.
Appreciate it, Scavengers.
All right, Chris, bring us home, my friend.
Excelsior.